Today we're trying out Gordon Ramsay's Pan Seared Pork Chops in a white wine mustard cream sauce with candied apples and cinnamon sweet potato mash. I'm coming for you, Ramsay. Let's go!
Okay, let's get to work on this easy recipe. Let's have those pork chops out of the fridge for a few minutes before we start to work.
Look at those beautiful pork chops. Very important, we're gonna season both sides. So some salt, pepper. We'll turn those over. We're gonna season these twice, once now and then once while they're cooking. Okay, let's make sure we get everything, use up everything. Nice. We're gonna leave these rest for another 5 minutes before we cook them. Good. Excellent. Bon.
A big part of creating dishes like this is we have to make sure we multitask. So I already had my sweet potatoes boiling. I've drained them, mashed them up. I've added in some butter, and now I'll flavor them up with a little crack of salt and pepper. And I like to add some cinnamon and heavy cream in there. There we go, that cinnamon's in. Next we'll do that heavy cream. We'll whip these up, and always make sure you give them a taste test. If you need to add in a little bit more flavor, you can go ahead and do so. Okay, while we are finishing up those potatoes, please also do me a favor, smash that like button, throw a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. That way you can continue to see some nice, easy recipes, some great recipes, and we will continue to cook together. Okay, we've set our sweet potato mash aside. We've got our apple cored and sliced up. Just season that with a little bit of salt and pepper on both sides, and then we can go ahead and put those aside as well and move on to searing our pork chops. So you'll notice here how I've prepared the side dishes first, and then I will move on to the pork chop. Here we go. Nice hot pan. I am cooking 2 of these tonight. I'm cooking them separately. It's a little bit easier to show on camera that way. Just a quick sear on both sides. A little bit of color. We'll make sure we also season with a little bit more salt and pepper while it is in the pan. Once that's done, just a quick 90 seconds per side, we're gonna go ahead and start rendering the fat on the outside of that pork chop. And this will certainly add to our flavor. We're going to do all sides. And then we will use the pan to our advantage here, and we'll let the pan do the work. We'll rest it up against the side, makes things a little bit easier for us as well. Okay, and now to add a little bit of butter to the pan so we can start basting this. Now this pork chop takes about 8 minutes total to cook, and we do not want to cook it all right now. We are just getting it started up after it's seared and flavored with that butter, and then we're gonna go ahead and set that aside. Let's make sure that we coat this in our butter on both sides like I am doing right here, and then we'll be able to go ahead and set that aside. I love basting this pork chop like this. That golden brown nutty flavor of the butter gives the pork chop so much flavor. Once that's all finished up, we'll set it aside because we are going to prepare our white wine mustard cream sauce, and then we're going to add the pork chop right back into that sauce to finish up the cooking process. Listen to that sizzle. Okay, time to get moving on our cream sauce now. We'll start out with some minced garlic and minced shallots. We've got everything prepared, a little bit of oil in the pan. We're going to take our time here to saute these up. We'll start to caramelize them. Just a couple of minutes on low heat. Once those are ready, add in some of our white wine. That white wine will help deglaze the pan, and we'll cook out all of that alcohol. Make sure you test that white wine as well while you're cooking. There's our chicken stock, and we'll bring that to a boil and then reduce that down. Add in our heavy cream and a couple of different types of mustard coming up here. We've got some nice Dijon mustard after we've given that one little whisk. And then after that Dijon mustard, we'll have mustard seed. Great combination here. Those are in, so let's give that a good mix. We'll whisk it right up inside that pan. We'll turn that heat down and we'll start reducing that, and we've got our cream sauce. And now we get to reintroduce our pork chops. So this is where we'll finish up the cooking process on those pork chops. Just a few minutes required inside that pan with the cream sauce. We'll make sure we give those a turn, and we'll also baste them a little bit with our cream sauce. Looking delicious. The flavors, the aroma coming from this pan are absolutely incredible. Cooking food like this, you can feel like your own master chef right in your own kitchen. Homemade is always the best. All right, those pork chops are finishing up, so we're going to move on to our candied apples. Low heat here. We're starting out with some brown sugar. I've got some cinnamon sticks going in there as well. These flavors work really great together, by the way. And of course, why not? A splash of some white wine. This will also help deglaze that pan. All right. Once that's there, let's make sure we keep that heat low. We do not want this to boil. It was a little bit high, but not to worry. I saved it. Along come those sliced apples. We'll make sure those get coated up nice in that sugar and cinnamon mixture here. We'll make sure we're going to give them a turn. And what would these be without a little bit of butter being added in there as well? Again, if you haven't done so already, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. You'll see more of these great recipes coming your way. This, of course, as mentioned, is a Gordon Ramsay special. I love cooking his recipes. They are fantastic. I like cooking my own, but I'll certainly borrow a few here and there every time I get the chance. All right, those apples are ready. We're going to move on to construction time in just a moment. There's a shot of both our pork chops and those candied apples. Okay, a little bit of greens on that plate, add a little bit more color. And of course, there are the cinnamon sweet potato mashed as well. Those are still nice and warm. And here comes the star of the show, that pan-seared pork chop. All right, that's almost ready. Now we'll add in our candied apples. Don't forget that cinnamon stick. Gives a nice little touch to the plate. And then, of course, a little bit of that syrup coming along around the plate to garnish. Look at that. Just a little bit of a drizzle. And then finally some more of that white wine mustard cream sauce right on top of the pork chop. About to give this great dish a try. It's great for dinner. You can entertain a lot of people cooking like this. Just a quick little cleanup and we are ready. Look at that. Everything has come together beautifully. A lot of flavors. They're great. This dinner recipe was very easy.
That's Gordon Ramsay's pan-seared in a mustard white wine cream sauce, cinnamon sweet potato mash, and cinnamon candied apples. That's looking beautiful. Oh! Boom! I think I nailed it. This is just fantastic. Wow. Wow, look at the color. Perfect color on the inside. Can you see the color on the inside? Probably not in that lighting. It's so tender. That is absolutely out of this world. Aromas, flavors, everything combined in here is absolutely incredible. I would say I'm stunned, but I'm not stunned. This is a Gordon Ramsay recipe. It had to be great, and it is. It's super fantastic. Everyone, please remember, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Check this easy recipe out. Make it for yourselves. Make it for the family. Make it for anybody. You're going to love this one. It is fantastic. Great pork chop. You'll see in the description everything that I've used that I kind of borrowed from Mr. Ramsay in this easy recipe. I watched, I learned, I mastered it. You can master it. Until next time, happy cooking. Boom. Now, I am going to devour this. A little bit of apple with a little bit of that sweet potato mash. That is simply out of this world. If you're not trying this dish, you are missing out. You have to try this dish. It is fantastic. You can cook like a master chef in your own home. You don't need to go out to the restaurant all the time to get that. This is an easy recipe. It's made for everybody. Follow along step by step. You'll really enjoy this one. It's so much fun making a dish like this. You'll really, really enjoy it. Until next time, happy cooking. Boom. I might need to sit at the table tonight to eat. That's how good this one is. Just delicious. Off the charts delicious. Mr. Ramsay, if you could please, a rating. Please and thank you, sir. It's delicious. I know if Gordon Ramsay is watching this video, he's going to be able to figure out what I didn't put in there. Because there was one ingredient that was missing. I couldn't find it. I couldn't get it. I searched. Maybe I didn't try hard enough, but I looked for it, and I know he's going to be able to know what's not in this recipe because it was his recipe. So if there's an ingredient missing, he's going to know. I just couldn't find it. I tried. Anyway, until next time. Absolutely out of this world. Out of this world recipe. Out of this world.